Past 15 to 20 minutes.
Jose is always, well, that's the way it is. You can't change it. You're very acceptable.
Sorry?
Et je vois les remparts du château.
Here, just bring here. Can you take one with you?
no one provokes me without punishment. Every person who enters Edinburgh Castle must pass beneath this ancient motto of Scotland inscribed above the gate. It is a warning about war. It reminds us that this is a military stronghold, the center of a nation with a military tradition stretching back to the wars of Wallace and Bruce and beyond. This museum tells the story of Scotland's experience of war in modern times. It shows how war and military service have been crucial to the last 400 years of Scotland's story. The path of any nation's history is set by many things, but the shape of the land dominates. This is especially true of Scotland, the northern part of an island on the northwest fringe of Europe, a land of mountains and water with a long and complex coastline. A border with England, a powerful neighbour. Sea routes to Ireland, Scandinavia and Northern Europe. The division between highlands and lowlands all have channeled the movement of people, goods and ideas. War has often stimulated this movement. In the 17th century, thousands of Scots left their homes to serve in foreign armies during the 30 Years' War. Scottish soldiers were a powerful presence in the victorious armies of Gustavus Adolphus, King of Sweden. This war, perhaps more than any other before, brought new weapons and tactics that were to have a far-reaching effect on the future of European armies. War was becoming a contest between professional forces, requiring officers and soldiers trained in complex drill movements for new weapons. Soldiering was now a job. In the late 1630s, the Scots brought these lessons home. A new Scottish army, led by the Swedish veteran General Alexander Leslie, overawed the English force sent against it. In the decade of civil war that followed, the lessons learnt by the Scots soon spread. The English Parliament's new model army was eventually triumphant at the Battle of Dunbar in 1650. Scotland was conquered, and for a brief period, union between the two nations was enforced by military occupation. Although the two kingdoms were soon restored, many in England believed that their long-term military security and wealth required a united British state. Many Scots agreed, lured by the promise of access to England's flourishing colonial trade. In 1707, a deal for peaceful union was struck. The English state had been spared the cost of enforcing union by military means. Scotland's military resources were part of this bargain, and Scottish regiments were absorbed into the forces of the new British state. Soon, however, the natural divisions and tensions within Scotland began to pull the Union apart. Opponents of the Union and of the Protestant succession to the British throne found support in the Highlands of Scotland. There they could gather the military resources to fight for change. The Jacobite rebellions that followed in the years between 1708 and 1745 forced the British Army and Navy to occupy, fortify and defend the Scottish Highlands, a task made more difficult by the help the Jacobites received from Britain's overseas enemies. The British state looked for a way to remove the Highland military threat. Mass recruitment of Highlanders into the British Army was seen as a convenient solution. Between 1739 and 1800, around 60 such regiments were raised. These took their place with the older Scottish regiments raised 100 years earlier, and with the thousands of Scots who served and commanded in other parts of the British armed forces. Over the next 200 years, Scots were at the forefront as Britain's overseas empire was enlarged and defended. For Scots, military service offered an important opportunity for employment and advancement. It also strengthened the bonds of the Union. For Scotland, war meant more than supplying manpower for overseas service. The nation itself had to be defended from foreign invasion. Special military units were created to arm and train the population. By the end of the 19th century, with Scottish economic prosperity tied to the Union and the Empire, military service had become a powerful expression of Scottish.
Répondrait au regard des usages qui ont cours dans les prisons françaises. Votre sort est...
What is he saying there, Mr. Howard?
He's complaining about his clothing, food. He says he has only rags and that the food is terrible. I'm of the opinion that the rations are regular and that the quality is excellent. However, he does appear somewhat ragged, I must admit. What do you say, Mr. President?
Well, we are having problems, Mr. Howard, but we're doing all we can to provide for them. More and more arrive every day, and run out of supplies for the moment. It's only a temporary problem, though, Mr. Howard. I don't know why they all seem to be coming to Edinburgh.
I see it everywhere I go these last 4 months, Mr. President. I'm really...
Je sais seulement qu'on donne de l'argent aussi une chose qu'on donne sous les yeux. Monsieur, je ne saurais moi-même nommer ainsi.
Who is contracted to supply the rations, Mr. President?
That would be James Miller, Mr. Howard. He is the government contractor for victuals. I thought the standard good myself. And you tried the bread yourself.
Yes, I thought the standard was better than our mission.
Every prisoner gets his daily ration of a pound.
You have to admire Jones. You don't have to like him. They battled all day and all night. He just wouldn't give up.
Pearson called for quarters. What did he say?
Sir, do you ask for quarter?
And Jones said, "No, sir. I haven't as yet thought of it, but I'm determined to make you strike." I have not yet begun to fight.
Downside to that, of course. Lots of buildings in the area where we're standing now are still owned by the
Daddy, no, let's not go in that building. Let's not sign in that building.
Fearing an invasion from the continent, there increased the number of soldiers and garrisons.
In a way, yeah, but
Newfoundland is so much more Irish. Their loyalty to the British crown is opposed to any of that Iranian stuff.
Would this be on TV?
You wouldn't want your watch to be wrong, would you?
So I can fire at the
He's putting a hearing protection in there, which is a good idea.
What's it got?
It's bloody loud. Prepare thyself.
Stand back from the fence, back up my head.
You put your fingers in your ear there.
That's fine.
You get the full.
I'm reducing my hearing protection to 0. Oh, I wouldn't do that. You might drop it. Are you filming it?
She's just got to yank a little thing and she goes very quick. She approaches the elevation.
Very silent now. I'm nervous. Here we go.
Bye. Wait, when did I run? I know, it's